So, on the last video that I uploaded, we talked about my 6 favorite R&B groups of all time and the fragrances that represent them in my collection, or at least I think so anyway. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna do my top 7, because I couldn't narrow this down any lower than 7. My top 7 favorite R&B singers of all time and the fragrances in my collection that I think best represent them. So, you wanna know what I got cooking? You wanna know what I put in this pot? Well, meet me on the other side of this intro and I'm gonna tell you all about it. What's going on, everybody? That's right, it's your boy Trey Sense, aka LL Cool Trey, Trey Belafonte. That's right, it's your boy Trey Belafonte in the building. Listen, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just feeling the R&B and frags combination. I guess they go together like surf and turf, you know what I'm saying? Lobster and steak, lobster and shrimp, R&B and frags for me. I think it's that time of the year. I really do. I think September is my favorite month. Football season has started. September, October, temperatures at night. I'm just in that nostalgia type mood, I guess. So today what we're going to talk about is 7 of my all-time favorite R&B singers and the fragrances in my collection that I think represent them. Now, this is my collection. So it would be different if, let's say, Sam did this video, or Cheapo, or JP, or Manuel. If Manny did it, it would be different. Why? Because their taste in music is slightly different, and their frag collection is slightly different. So, so we're gonna work with what I got, and we're gonna rock this video out. Okay, so at the number 7 spot is a person that I talked about a little bit yesterday because of the groups. The group was New Edition. So at the number 7 spot, one of my favorite all-time R&B singers is none other than the infamous Bobby Brown. And what fragrance in my collection do I think represents B. Brown? John Varvatos. Why did I pick this one? Well, because it's a good scent. Why does it remind me of Bobby Brown? Because this is probably the, I have a hard time saying it. How do y'all say probably? Probably. I mean, it's crazy. Nonetheless, overlooked. This is one of the most overlooked fragrances in the entire line of the house of John Varvatos, which, if you sit and think about it, JV got a lot of frags out. And they constantly pumping stuff out. Like, I don't have any of the newer stuff. I think the newest one I may have is the Nick Jonas, John Varvatos stuff. Yeah, those are gonna be some of the newest. But I think I have all of those. But that's gonna be the newest. But nonetheless, this fragrance, just like B. Brown, to me is overlooked. It dries down to a really nice, sweet fragrance. Comes out very masculine. You think it's gonna be this powerhouse, leathery type of scent, but no. Then it turns into a whole different fragrance because it just turns into a really sweet frag. Does it smell good? Yes. Very soft projector, very subtle. I know that's the complete opposite of B. Brown, because B. Brown was not soft and it definitely wasn't subtle. But the correlation between the two is being overlooked. I can remember people laughing at Whitney when she called Bobby the king of R&B. But again, if you think about it, that Don't Be Cruel album was a classic, as my boy Clayton pointed out. Produced by Teddy Riley, written by Babyface. How you gonna go wrong with Mr. Yep Yep and the coolest dude ever, Mr. Polar Bear himself, Babyface? I mean, you can't go wrong with that combination. Then you add B. Brown's swag and bad boy appeal to it. Can't miss. But this fragrance comes off and comes out again like it's gonna be this masculine, leather jacket type of fragrance that you would expect from John Varvatos, and then it just turns and goes to a very soft, subtle, sweet smelling fragrance. I think this is appropriate for any age group. I think anybody can wear it, but you just don't hear a lot of talk about this one. I can't remember when this fragrance came out because it was before I started watching YouTube videos. I do remember seeing it at TJ Maxx a lot, and at that time my price range on the fragrance was like $19.99. That was my, it was $24, $25. Most of the times I left it. So, and I think I remember seeing this one in like gift sets with the little black container that it came in for like 40 bucks. And at that time, I was like, I ain't paying $40 for no fragrance. But you gotta realize that was probably 20 years ago. So, or more. Yeah, it was about, I'll say about 20 years ago. So $40 for a fragrance then was probably like paying what, 60 for one now? So that was pricey, especially at TJ Maxx. So nonetheless, John Varvatos, the original or whatever, to me, represents my number 7 R&B singer, and that's B Brown. Now, at the number 6 spot is a very controversial artist, but great composer, great songwriter, great singer. Whether you like him or his music or not, chances are you've nodded your head to a song that you like. He wrote Fortunate for Maxwell. He wrote You Are Not Alone for Michael Jackson. He wrote, he did, I can't remember if it was the first or second High Five album, which High Five could have easily been on my greatest groups of all time. If I had went out to 7 or 8, High Five would have made it, because Quality Time is one of my jams. And what was the other one? All summer long we've been together, and I never felt, because when I'm with you, you make my heart beat fast. You do me bad when you smile. I Like, that's the name of it. All those are R. Kelly. I just gave it away. At the number, just gave it away. The number 6 spot on this list, you have R. Kelly. Bad dude, great songwriter, great composer, has written songs for 30, 40 years for people. Well, maybe not, yeah, I'll say 30 years, because High Five goes back about 30 years. Mid-90s, yeah. And the fragrance in my collection, first of all, I can't see any of these people wearing any of these fragrances because it just doesn't really fit their price range, you know, because most of them have enough money to wear what they want, and they probably wouldn't wear any of these fragrances again, but that's why it's privy to my collection. I don't know, Bobby Brown may wear John Varvatos, but this fragrance I do think represents I do think this fragrance represents this artist for more than one reason. So R. Kelly is at the number 6 spot, and the fragrance that I think represents R. Kelly is from the house of Azzaro, and it is Wanted. Why Wanted, you may ask? Because I can't see R. Kelly wearing a fragrance that young girls wouldn't like. I'm just saying, I mean, it is what it is, bro. I mean, I can't see R. Kelly reaching for Brut or Old Spice or anything too masculine or whatever. I mean, I'm just, you know, I'm sorry. I ain't perfect. I say stuff sometimes. But nonetheless, this is a quality fragrance. Wanted and Wanted by Night. On the fence with Tonic and Most Wanted, but Wanted and Wanted by Night are bangers. And I think they're fragrances that everybody should have in their collection. I really, really do. I love the bottle design, love the presentation, but the scent is hard to beat. This is a mass appealing, crowd pleasing type of fragrance, and we all know R. Kelly. Well, never mind. At the number 6, I'm gonna move on. Number 5. At the number 6 spot, R. Kelly, fragrance that best represents him, Wanted by Night. Now, this is where it gets tough, because these next 5, I mean, man. These next 5 could go any which way, and I don't mean to leave off cats like Freddie Jackson or Terrence Trent D'Arby, because I love Wishing Well. I mean, there's several artists that could have, Usher, You know, I go way back. I've been listening to Usher since high school. When Usher's first album dropped, I was a senior. And all my homeboys, we loved that Can You Get With It was his single. And we also liked, there was another song on that LP that I liked called If My Heart Could Whisper. If my heart speaks in whispers. If my heart could speak, you know, beautiful song. Usher like 14 years old singing about love. You know, the kid was like he was like 14, 15 at the time. And again, like I said, it was my senior year in high school, so it would have been really easy to put Usher on this list. The problem is, when I think about it, or John B. I love John B. I listen to a lot of John B music still. You know, like Are You Still Down? And They Don't Know About This Here, and Someone to Love, and Pretty Girl. I mean, I go on and on. But I have to cut it off at some point, you know what I'm saying? And John B could have easily been on this list. The reason John B didn't make the list, honestly, is because John B's not the best vocalist. Great songwriter, great composer, true musician, but he lacks in vocals. Usher is not necessarily a songwriter or a composer, just a beautiful singer. Usher has a beautiful voice, strong voice, but not the best singer. And most of these guys do it all, or can flat out blow, or just beautiful. And Prince, spoiler alert, Prince didn't make the list either. And the reason Prince didn't make the list is simple. Much as I love Prince music, I don't go back with Prince. You know what I'm saying? I didn't, you know, if I'm having a bad day, I don't want to put on Purple Rain. You know, one of my favorite songs is When the Doves Cry. But when I'm having a bad day, that's not what I go to. Or when I just need to escape and get away, I don't go to that. But anyway, let me get on with what I'm doing here. At the number 5 spot, this dude right here, to me, one of the truly most gifted singers of all time. I'll put him up there with guys like Luther Vandross, Donny Hathaway. This dude could probably sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm and it would be a platinum hit. Artist I'm talking about at the number 5 spot is none other than Maxwell. And I've heard interviews with people talking about how good Maxwell smells. So I'm sure he wouldn't wear this fragrance, but we are privy to my collection. So Midnight in Paris by VNC, Van Cleef and Arpels. This is the fragrance in my collection that most reminds me of Maxwell. Why? Well, because, I mean, what the comment that was made was that if you sit in the first, second, or third row at a Maxwell concert, you can smell his cologne. I don't know what he could be wearing that smells that strong, because you think, you know, they're getting hot, they're getting sweaty, they're performing, you know. So I don't know. I don't know what he could have put on. The only thing I could think of in my collection that I have is that strong is Midnight in Paris, Red Tobacco, Royal Oud maybe, because even Aventus isn't that strong. So I don't know what he could be wearing, you know, that's catching the ladies' noses in the first, second, and third row. But nonetheless, the fragrance in my collection that I think represents Maxwell is Midnight in Paris. Beautiful bottle for a beautiful voice. And I go way back with Maxwell, from, you know, To the Cops Come Knocking, to Little Something Something, all those songs. My favorite song by Maxwell, I think, is Whenever, Wherever, Whatever. I think that's a beautiful song, man. Beautiful, beautiful song. He really shows his vocals on that song. Whenever, Wherever, Whatever. Beautiful song. And then he's got another one called Hula Hula, I think. That's a dope, as Sam would say, dope song. So the number 5 spot, representing Maxwell, Midnight in Paris. And this is where it gets, at the 5 spot, it really gets tricky, because either one of these could have been number 1, 3, 4, 2, whatever, because they're all extremely good. I go way back with all of them, but the number 4 spot, this dude, smooth, charismatic, charming, doesn't really seem to age, has been doing music 45 years. His whole family was in music, different groups. He's been in different groups. Songwriter, composer, has written beautiful music for himself and some of everybody in the game. Started one of the best labels at one time. I'm gonna give you a hint, and some of y'all, I'm gonna see how much y'all really know music. he actually signed Pink when she first came out. Pink was on his label. That label was LaFace. Remember L.A. Reid and the other half of that face, Babyface? So at the number 4 spot, you got Babyface. And the fragrance that I think most represents Babyface is a nice, smooth one, Chanel Allure Homme Sport. And I'm fixing to find a spot to spray this on. That's the thing about doing these reviews. You get to play in your frags, man, and I love it. But this, oh man, let's smell it over here, bro. That smells so good, y'all. Man, why did I pick this one? Because it represents, to me, it represents Babyface. It's my own Facebook sending me a friend request. It represents Babyface. It's smooth, it's subtle, but it smells so good. You know what I'm saying? It does exactly what you want a fragrance to do. And it's made by Chanel, so you know it's well made, it's well blended. My goodness, man. Yes. Chanel Allure Homme Sport represents my number 4 favorite R&B singer of all time, Babyface, Kenny Edmonds or whatever. You know, and his brother sung with After 7. What was his brother? Kevon? Wasn't it his brother? Kevon Edmonds? Yeah. Okay. Now we're fixing to get to the knit and the grip. At the number 3 spot. And again, any of these could have been flipped. This guy wasn't a songwriter, he was just flat out sing. And another one that could probably sing Old MacDonald Had a Farm, and it, you know, again, it'd be a platinum hit because his voice was just that strong. He was known for his riffs and his runs and his just perfect voice. Number 3 spot. And growing up, for me, if I came home from school and this record was playing on the record player, I know it's time to sit my books down and go somewhere, because that meant moms was cleaning house. That's what that meant. That meant the house cleaning was going on, you know, and you didn't want to be, and I don't mean just surface cleaning. I mean this was deep cleaning music. And that's another thing I got from both of my parents, other than the love of fragrances, was a love of music. And I got a triple dose of that because my mom, my biological father, and my stepdad were big into music. So my stepdad actually sings. He actually used to sing with a little local band. So yeah. So I got a triple dose of music. So maybe that's why I was so into it, because I was always around it as a kid. But the number 3 spot, man, this dude, and there was 2 versions of it. Did I just give it away? Some of y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. You had Big and Little. Big Luther, Little Luther. The number 3 spot, smoothest dude ever, Luther Vandross, man. Songs like, and it's funny because I used to, let me back up. Dior Homme, now this is the 2020 version. I have a decant of the 2016, but something about this one I like as well, and I'm gonna put this on skin too. You had Big Luther and you had Little Luther. So listening to this music when I was a little kid, I liked the melodies and the rhythm, but I had no idea what they were singing about. But as a 45-year-old man, when I listen to songs like So Amazing or Wait for Love, I'm just like, man, I get it. I understand what he's saying at 45. You know, maybe at 14 or even at 7 or 8, I didn't get it, you know. You know, when they was playing songs like She Creeps, you know, Having a Party or whatever, I didn't understand that music. You know, I was too young to grasp the concept of what they were really singing about. But at 45, I get it. At 45, I get it. But nonetheless, Dior Homme 2020, the less irisy, less lipsticky batch, but still as good, represents my number 3 artist, my number 3 favorite R&B artist of all time. And again, Celine Dion, Celine Dion, Donny Hathaway, Luther, Maxwell, Usher, you know, these guys. And it was hard not to put Chris Brown on this list too, but Chris Brown is more recent. You know, I hadn't had a chance to go back with Chris yet, but Chris Brown a bad dude. I love Chris Brown music. I'm not ashamed to sit here and say that. I don't hate on any of the newer acts out. It's just, again, the criteria for making this list was memories and going back with you. And I can't go back that far with Chris because Chris ain't been doing it all that long. I mean, he's been doing it about 15, 20 years now, but still, I ain't go back with Chris. Chris ain't got me through no hard times. I guess that's the best way to say it. Chris get me in trouble. Listening to Chris Brown, I digress. Never mind. I'm about to tell y'all some stuff y'all don't know about Trey Belafonte. I'm telling you. I know y'all see the pretty face and the smooth, you know. I know y'all see it. See the dimple. That's my trademark. I know you see that. So, I'm just clowning. But listening to Chris Brown get me in trouble. That's all I'm going to say. But representing Luther Vandross at the number 3 spot, Dior Homme 2020. Why? Because to me, it's just like Luther. It performs good, it smells good, it's smooth, and it's a fragrance that everybody should have in their collection, I think. It's like everybody out there, if you're an old head and you've been listening to R&B for a long time, you can probably name a Luther song. At the number 2 spot, man, oh man. This dude, maybe, a lot of people, if I say this, I'm gonna give it away too early. So let's just go and get it out there. At the number 2 spot, the artist is Michael Jackson. And the fragrance that I think best represents Michael Jackson is Zaharoff Signature Per Homme. Why Signature Per Homme? It's a do-it-all fragrance. It just is. You can wear this in the summer, you can wear it in the winter, you can wear it to church, you can wear it to a wedding, you can wear it on a date, you can wear it to a funeral, interview, signature scent every day. This is just a versatile fragrance, just like Mike. Mike did it all. You know, people say Michael was pop. Have you ever listened to Remember the Times and watched that video? You got Magic Johnson, Eddie Murphy in the video. That's like a movie. That video plays like a movie. Ain't nothing pop about that song. That song was straight R&B. Especially when he get to that room where he like, I bet you remember. I know you remember. I mean, that's just cold. It's just a cold song. And he did a song with Justin Timberlake. That song was beautiful. That song was cold. And Butterflies. He did Butterflies with the chick from Floetry singing in the background. And those two voices together, just man. But then you go back. One of my favorite Michael Jackson songs is the two I think he did with Paul McCartney. One of them, what was it? The Doggone Girl Is Mine. The Girl Is Mine was one of them. And then Say, Say, Say. I still love Say, Say, Say. I'll go listen to that song and just watch that video. You know, because you got the contrast of Mike, you know, with his high pitch and coming in with that tempo. And then you have Paul McCartney with that smoothness. Just say, say, say what you want. And then Mike coming in, take that time, and then I love you. I love it. And I go way back with that type of music, man. Absolutely love it. So at the number 2 spot, it's Michael Jackson. And the fragrance in my collection that best represents him, Zaharoff Signature Per Homme. Man, it's hard to leave Prince off this list. It really was hard to leave Prince off this list. The number 1 spot, probably the most controversial person on this list, but I think all of them probably, every artist on this list at some point, probably, if they were here, could name a song from this artist that they liked, that they listened to, and probably was influenced by this dude. He was a songwriter, a composer, he played the guitar, he played the drums, one of the most unique voices. Yeah, one of the most unique voices out there. Very controversial artist, bad dude. He really wasn't a good person, you know. I mean, check out, I'm gonna tell you what he did. And some of y'all gonna know the story and gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. So his best friend, Sam Cooke, did I just give it away, was killed. What did my boy do? He married his widow, okay? Wore Sam's suit to the funeral. And that wasn't enough. To wear his suit, marry his now widowed wife. While he was married to the wife, he had an affair with the wife's daughter, which was Sam's daughter. So the artist that I'm talking about is none other than the infamous, the notorious Bobby Womack. And the fragrance that I think best represents Bobby Womack in my collection is from the house of Clive Christensen, and it is Ex Masculine. Because I couldn't see Bobby wearing something that was fruity or watered down or too floral. I think if Bobby was gonna rock it, it's gonna have to be something super duper strong. And why Bobby Womack, y'all might ask? I'll tell you. Songs like Facts of Life. Songs like, what was it, 110th Street? Songs like that, just Nobody Wants You When You Down and Out. I mean, that song come on so cold. I could feel, when Bobby sing, I feel his pain. You know he was a troubled individual. He had drug issues, alcohol issues, but the dude just, you know, when it came to musicians and when it came to music, and he redid a song by the Carpenters, Close to You. Love that song, man. Absolutely love that song. So the #1 spot, the Trey Sense, of my top 7 R&B artists of all time goes to Bobby Womack. And again, the fragrance in my collection that best represents him, Ex Masculine, by Clive Christensen. I'm gonna say Clive Davis, because we're talking about music. Anyway, that's that, y'all. So what we're gonna do next? We're gonna do R&B. We're gonna do hip hop. We're gonna do top 7 hip hop groups, and then maybe top 7 rappers. You know. And I'll tell you, if I do that one, I don't think Big makes my list. Big does not make my top 7. Pac does. Big don't. You know, I don't know if I can do the R&B, because that's gonna get too close to home for me. I don't know if I can do that one. So this may be the end of this little R&B and frags. So we may do hip hop and frags. I don't know. We may do country next. You can't never tell. But anyway, man, I hope this is something that you guys enjoy. Just trying to be super creative and outside of the box and not just be your average reviewer. Just want to give you a little insight of what goes on inside this thing that they call a brain, a cranium, or Trey Sense. Trey Belafonte, because it's crazy sometimes, my thoughts all over the board. But anyway, that Chanel is really cutting up. Babyface cutting up over here, y'all, I'm telling you. Anyway, man. And also, I listen to other genres of music too. Like, I love Hall & Oates. I'm not really sure where to put Hall & Oates. I'm not sure if that's rock and roll, pop, R&B. I love the Police. You know, all genres of music. I listen to country music as well. You know, I listen to all kinds of music. The only thing I think I don't listen to really is opera. Can't really, and bluegrass, stuff like that, I can't get into. Can't get into that. But anything else, just about I listen to. Females as well. I mean, it's not just, you know, like Janet Jackson. Go way back with Janet too. But anyway, again, I hope this is a video you guys liked. Again, I want to thank you for being the best part of my channel. Always being here, being supportive for me. You know, coming by, checking out what I'm talking about. Thank you. I am not a perfect reviewer. I forget things sometimes, like in my last video, which I had a sub point out, and I don't have a problem with it. I called Gerald. The father's Eddie, and I got the son mixed up. I called the father Gerald. Gerald was the son. Gerald and Sean was the 2 boys. And I specifically sit here and said Gerald Levert when it was Eddie. But you make mistakes sometimes. It is what it is. So thank you for pointing that out. Appreciate it. But again, I hope this is a video that you guys like. Please be sure to like, share these type of videos, sub, and please, by all means, be active in the comment section. That's what they are there for. That is the purpose of it. So let me know your 5, 6, 7 or 2 top R&B singers of all time. And if you got a fragrance that you can pair them up with, let me know what you got. Let me see what you come up with. And again, you reviewers out there that come across this, I don't care who you are. I don't care if we talk, if we don't talk. If you see this video and you're interested in doing it, I feel you should do so. I feel like you should do it. I mean, I don't own the rights to the idea. So just do it. Let's knock it out. Let's have some fun with it. You know, let's bring fun and positivity back to Frag Home. So But anyway, I'm gonna get off here because it's 30 minutes already of me talking. Give me some water and edit this video after I shoot me a beautiful thumbnail. And then I'm gonna upload it and then I'm gonna peace out on y'all. So until next time, which I don't know when that'll be or what video I'm gonna do next, but until next time, again, God bless you all. I love you all. Peace.